Hi friends, it's Belinda here from BMakingJoy. Welcome to episode 40 of What Brings Me Joy, a mostly knitting podcast from my home here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, where I share my knitting journey with you, keep track of the works in progress that I have so that you can hold me accountable for the things that I cast on. And sometimes you get to see some sneak peeks at my upcoming designs. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, I'm so glad to have you back. I'm recording this on Saturday, September 28th, 2024. I have one finished object to share. I have my homework ready for the classes that I'm taking at the Prince Edward Island Fibre Festival next weekend. I've made more progress on my circular Snowflake Throw and my Milton Cardigan. And I've started a new project. And you'll understand why when I show it to you and talk about my upcoming trip. I'll talk about what I'm packing for our travels, and in the acquisition section I have the new fall subscription box has arrived from Twice Sheared Cheap. In shop news, it was my husband and I's 25th wedding anniversary on the 25th of September. So to celebrate, I put all my patterns on Ravelry at 25% off for the week. It does expire on October 1st at midnight, so I hope you've seen this in enough time to get you to take advantage of it, to allow you to take advantage of it. It's been 2.5 weeks since my last episode, so there's not a lot of life update to share with you. We had a lot of personal matters to attend to, a number of appointments and Zoom meetings, so I did get a fair amount of knitting time. But I haven't had the brain space for any writing. Since we're going to be gone for almost the whole month of October, and we definitely expect it to be cold when we get back, we've gone ahead and gotten our winter tires put on our cars. I drive a minivan, Dan has a Jeep, and he recently bought last year he bought an all-electric Volkswagen ID4. So on our anniversary, that same date, we took his Volkswagen up to the dealership and we spent our afternoon at the Cross Iron Mills Mall, just north of Calgary. I think it's an outlet mall. But we didn't really buy anything. We decided not to get each other gifts. We decided to call our upcoming trip our 25th anniversary tour. So if I think I've told you before, last episode, that I'm going to the PEI Fibre Festival. Dan and my daughter are coming with me, Dan and Elana. Then we're spending a few days at my parents' in Nova Scotia. And then Dan and I and my brother and his wife are going to Scotland for a week. And then Dan and I are going on to Prague for a week. So I've been busy preparing for that. We did go out for an anniversary dinner on the 25th. We went to the Caesars, which is a steakhouse in the Willow Park Village here in Calgary. I don't think there's anything else that's happened in the last 2.5 weeks. Tonight there's a Calgary Flames game. I hope I'm well enough to go because I did have a sore throat yesterday. That's really all I can think of as highlights, so let's get started with the finished object. I finished the Midnight Fox Cowl, patterned by Simone van Eiderstein of Sand and Sky Creations. Simone also works for Fleece Harmony in PEI, and this was introduced as their knit along for the Fibre Festival. The red fox is the provincial animal of Prince Edward Island. The yarns I chose are from my local yarn store, Engine Arts. This is their Fiatura worsted base, which is a 70% superwash merino, 20% silk, and 10% cashmere. And Fioritura is the Italian word for bloom. So it's a really soft yarn. The colorways are lapis lazuli, which is the gemstone for the main, and denim for the light color. So it's been blocked. I think the cat walked on it while it was blocking because there's a snag here. So I need to get out my tapestry needle or a little tiny crochet hook and pull that through to the back side. I'll show you what my back side looks like. I catch my floats every third stitch when I do stranded knitting. So there's nothing loose to snag on. When I blocked it, I aggressively tried to stretch out the stranded knitting portion of it. And yeah, I'm going to put it on to show you. And get extremely hot while I do so. So you can't really see the fox while it's on. Maybe a little bit. But it's going to be a nice warm thing. I could scoop it up. It fits quite well. Okay. I need to get my Ravelry page updated so I can enter this into the Knits and Pieces, try a new designer knit along, because this is the first time I've done one of Simone's patterns. Okay. Now I'm hot. I finished all my homework for the courses that I'll be taking at the PEI Fibre Festival. These in the round pieces are for the steeking class I will be taking. I think Tanis Gray is the instructor for that one. And so we got 4 pieces to steek. We'll be learning 4 different ways of stabilizing the ends, I think. And then I have this in the round piece. It's the beginnings of a hat, I believe. So it's for the Latvian braid pattern class. Sorry, it's for the Latvian braid class, which I also think is Tanis Gray as the instructor. Not 100% sure. Anyway, I did a Latvian braid in the cowl pattern that I just showed you. I completed that after I signed up for these courses. We signed up for these courses way back in May. So I was able to successfully do the Latvian braid. I found the instructions very well written and it was easier than expected. So I'm not sure what I'm hoping to get out of this class. Maybe some more tips, ideas on how to incorporate a braid in a future pattern, because I don't really need another hat. Nonetheless, I chose my signature colors for this hat, purples and yellows. So I'll show you the results of my classes next episode, whenever that will be, because I'm away the whole month of October. Anyway, and then the other class I'm taking is drop spindle with Simone Van Eiderstein. And so we had to bring with us 100 grams of spinning fiber. So here's a braid that I bought 2 years ago in the Beehive in Victoria, I believe. Actually, it's a Heavenly Merino comb top. 100% merino comb top. Milled and dyed in the UK. Haha. So yeah, I bought this 2 years ago, planning to start spinning, so I'm excited that I'm finally following through on that plan. I hope I do well with the drop spindle class. We're apparently making our own drop spindles. But I do think I'm probably going to be buying a nice wooden one from Fox Mountain Spindles? Is that what it's called? A maritime company that does woodworking products for... Anyway. Looking forward to seeing them at the Fibre Festival. Starting to make my list of all the different vendors at the Fibre Festival and which ones I really want to check out. Because, as I told you last episode, I'm also looking for yarns to represent the eastern provinces of Canada to finish my... I'll show you. I started a swatch that I'm going to take with me. So, Pacific Ocean... mountains, the city of Calgary, the prairies, and then I'm going to be looking for yarns for the rest of Eastern Canada. So I've started going through the vendors, all their websites, and have a general idea of which ones specifically I want to look for. So yeah, and then one other thing I signed up for at the Fibre Festival is an island tour. But when I signed up for it, I had in mind that the 3rd, 4th, and 5th were Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I told my husband we need to fly on Thursday. So we're arriving now on the 3rd, and my island tour is on at 1:30 on the 3rd, and we arrive in Halifax at 7, grab a rental car, stop and have breakfast with my parents. Should just make it in time to PEI to Charlottetown for that tour. We'll see. Looking forward to it. Anyway, I'm going to have to send all my purchases back home with Elana because I wouldn't want to try and take any of this stuff on the rest of my trip. Elana's coming to the Fibre Festival too. She's signed up for one class. I don't remember which one. I think it's drawing designs or something. It's tesselated designs. I don't know. Because as some of you know, she's taken up crochet in the last year or so, and she's doing quite well at it. But then as we go overseas, she's coming back home because she's taking some courses at SAIT, some online courses, but she doesn't want to fall behind on them. Probably won't keep up with very well while we travel. So she'll be coming back. SAIT is Southern Alberta Institute of Technology, and she's taking a computer course, a business course, and a library course. Anyway, before we get to my new cast on, let's see the progress I've made on some of my WIPs. So since I will be gone for all of October, I've gone ahead and added the 10th color to my Snowflake Throw now, so that I won't fall behind. So this is the pattern I'm designing. So the 10th color is now added. And when I get back after my travels, I will focus on getting this pattern ready for the tech editor next. And I must take a fresh picture for Ravelry because I've been entering this into a knit along as well. And yeah, this is using the Enchanted Winter Fade set from Ginger Snap That here in Calgary, which is of course no longer available. But when I have the pattern available for publishing, I'm sure you'll be able to find other fade sets to use or choose your own color combination. Anyhow, you've been seeing this since January, so we won't go any further into that. If you'd like to see the progress, you can go back to previous episodes, and you can follow the time chapter stamps through each episode to follow one particular pattern through each episode, and hear all about my thought process into each design section. Speaking of patterns, my cloak that I showed you at the finished object last week, the pattern is now at the tech editors. When I come back from my travels, I will put out a call for test knitters. Okay, socks. With all the color work in the cowl and in the homework for the steeking class, I got tired of color work, so I never got back to my herding cat socks. But with all our meetings and stuff, I did get more progress on my purse knitting. This little bag's been in my purse, my small purse. So I got more progress on the socks. These are plain vanilla socks using the Greatest Journey Adventure colorway from Woolen Women Fibres that they did in collaboration with Nitty Natty from the Love and Stitches podcast. It's a sock blank, 2 fingering weights knit together in a sock blank and then dyed, and then you knit up into socks. But you know what? I'm not quite so happy with how it's knitting up. I feel like it's gonna look like they're worn out on the soles. I am past the point of putting in a heel, so I'm committed to a afterthought heel. But now I'm actually having second thoughts about whether I actually want to finish the socks. Nonetheless, we can make that decision in November. And I did get back to work on my Milton cardigan. Oh, come here. And I'm excited about this one again. So I abandoned the body and started the sleeve. Sorry, excuse me. So this is the Milton cardigan pattern by Joji Locatelli. And I start the sleeve, which starts with picking up stitches around the armhole. And I ended up picking up 8 more stitches than the pattern calls for. Any fewer and the fabric would have been bunching for me. And I think that's because my road gauge does not match her road gauge. But I tried it on and I was happy with that extra 8 stitches, an extra inch or so. So I had to make some adjustments to accommodate those stitches. So in the short rows, in that first round, I had to make sure the wrap and turn started in the place that would evenly space them across the center of the shoulder. And then I had to add more short rows to make sure that shoulder space was going to be roomy enough to accommodate for those extra 8 stitches. It took 4 more short rows. Yes, that's right. And now in the arm decrease, I'm going to need to do 4 more decrease rounds to decrease those extra 8 stitches, unless I decide to keep an extra 8 stitches in the cuff. So 1 more decrease round, and then I will try it on to see if I'm going to keep decreasing or if I'm going to keep it at that width through to the cuff. And I hope I took good enough notes to do the other side the same way, because it will probably be November before I get it again, because yeah, it's not coming with me on the trip. My next cast on is coming with me. The yarns I'm using is Fibre Natura Kingston Tweed is the gray. It's a sport weight. Fibre Natura Kingston Tweed in the color Marble. And the lace weight is Manos de Uruguay Marina in the color Atlantis. Atlantis and Marble. So the 2 different weights of yarn is making a wonderful texture. I'm really looking forward to it. I really think it's going to be a excellent dressed up cardigan. So I'm going to insert a picture here when I try it on for you at this stage. Okay, I finished the required number of decreases. I'm ready to try it on, see if that's working out, and see if I want to continue to decrease to remove those extra 8 stitches that I had added on. So I've attached pony cord to the end of my needle in case my stitches decide to slide off. And let's try it on. Now, as I pass my wrist, I see I still have lots of room in there, so I probably will decrease out those extra 8 stitches. Let's pull it all the way up and see how it's fitting. Yeah, I am very happy with it. I'm going to continue to do those extra decreases to remove those extra 8 stitches. The body is still on the needles because after I finish the sleeves, I'm going to go back and finish the body. See how long we make it. Probably, I like my hips covered. Now I needed to plan my travel knitting. For airplane knitting, I like to do plain stockinette in the round. So the Musselburgh Hat by Isolde Teague is a good one. And since our flight is an overnight flight, I wanted to get the increases done and be just on the plain knitting part so I could do it in the dark. I know I should sleep on the plane, but I've never been able to. So I will try. But in case I can't, I've got my knitting ready. So, well, it's almost ready. I have a few more increase rounds to go and then it's ready. So, the Musselburgh Hat by Isolde Teague. I thought it was appropriate for this trip because after the Maritimes, we're going next to Scotland. And Musselburgh is a town on the edge of Edinburgh. And we're staying just outside of St. Andrews, which is about an hour from Edinburgh in the other direction. I don't know if we'll go to Musselburgh, but we will spend time in Edinburgh. Anyway, my brother and his wife are coming with us, so I want to make hats for them. And both hats will start with this yarn, Sock Nato from Ancient Arts in the color Honeycomb. My brother and his wife are beekeepers, so I thought that was an appropriate one for both their hats. We'll have this, and then at the PEI Fibre Festival, I will purchase two more yarns, two different yarns that will coordinate with this, so that they will match on one side of the hat and not match on the other side of the hat. A Musselburgh hat, if you don't know, I'll show you one I've already gotten finished last year. I need to find mine so I can take it with me, but here's Elana's that I made for her last year. So the Musselburgh is reversible. And you can fold the brim up or not. It's made in a long tube. So for my brother and his wife, I will have the yarn from Calgary, a yarn I buy from the Maritimes, and the pattern name representative of Scotland. And then so I've divided this skein into two 50-gram skein halves. And then the other halves of the new yarns that I will buy, I will put the rest of those together to make a third hat for my husband, I think. Yeah. So that's all the yarn that I will take with me. But I will be buying yarn, of course, in PEI and Scotland. And I think I will buy yarn for the annual Stephen West Mystery Knit-Along in case I need to start a new project in Prague. I'll need to have these two hats done before we finish our Scotland trip so I can give them to my brother and his wife before we separate. And then I'll have the third hat to do on the third leg of our trip, or do on our return flight or whatnot. Anyway, as I was saying, I will buy the yarns for the Stephen West Mystery Knit-Along at the PEI Fibre Festival. Take enough with me on my trip so that I can start it if I run out of this to do. But I really don't plan on doing much knitting in Prague. We're going to be doing a lot of walking there. In Scotland, we will be taking a rental car, so I'll have car knitting to do. Yeah, a rental car in Scotland. Do you have any tips on how to stay on the other side of the road? Because they drive on the opposite side of the road than we do. Other than the driver needs to keep the yellow line on his side of the car and the passenger needs to keep the ditch on her side of the car. That's my theory. Anyway, looking forward to our trip so much. Now let's officially update my WIP count list before I show you the goodies in that subscription box. The last episode I was at 10 unfinished projects. And since then, I finished the Midnight Fox Cowl and I started a Musselburgh. So that leaves me at 10. And I have not gone back to work on my husband's t-shirt quilt. And somebody has added some more mending to my pile. Anyway, still keep holding steady at 10 knitting projects on the needles. Pretty good. So for acquisitions, this year I subscribed to a seasonal subscription box from Twice Sheared Sheep out of the US. And I showed you the spring box in March. I showed you the summer box in June. So now we have the fall box. And instead of a winter box, they do an advent calendar box, which I did not buy. And in fact, I didn't order any December boxes this year. So there won't be an advent box to open this year. I don't actually celebrate Christmas, so I wasn't feeling really comfortable with doing those advent boxes. I do like mystery boxes though. But sadly, I will not be continuing this subscription next year. I love the boxes, and in American dollars, I think it's worth it. But with our 37% exchange rate and the shipping cost and the random custom and duty fees that we seem to be getting at the border, I won't be ordering this box again. But I love it. Of course, my daughter and I opened it as soon as it arrived, so I've already removed the packing materials. It's wrapped in pretty tissue paper inside the box and stuck together with this sticker. So I saved the sticker to put up on my bulletin board wall here beside me. You are loved. We say it with yarn. Oh, come on, where's the card? There it is. So the boxes come with a card that explains everything that's in the box. So first we have to get my glasses. A Magic Tricks pencil bag. This is my little bag of magic tricks. A little pouch. Which I wonder if it's going to be big enough for some toiletries or makeup, maybe for my travel. I do have a few notion pouches already on the go. I need to pack a notion pouch for my trip. Anyway, let's see what it says. Strap onto your project journal or favorite notebook to keep pencils, scissors, or other notions close in hand. Oh, that must be an elastic strap across the back side. I won't open it. You don't want to hear the rattling. And then we have a Yarnaceous Fibers Doodle Kit. Bronto DK 49 yards, 20 milligrams skein, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon in the cozy cabin colorways. And then it gives us a website where we can visit for pattern ideas for these colors. So nice fall colors. I haven't looked at that website yet. Then we have a faux fur pom-pom. Add some pizzazz to your next snuggly warm fall hat with this giant black faux fur pom-pom. Complete with ribbon ties for easy installation and removal. That's nice. And a wolf mug. And I love wolves. That was my favorite animal. Before we started this whole bee thing with BMakingJoy, I was into wolves so bad. So this is awesome. 12-ounce stainless steel insulated mug. Perfect for your favorite cozy beverage on a crisp autumn day. So it's a sippy cup mug. Awesome. Tree of Life row counter. So that little gem attachment is a Tree of Life. Size medium, fits up to 5mm US 8 needles or an H hook. For full use instructions, visit this website. So, a row counter. Mushkin's clip marker set. Perfect for knit or crochet. Use as progress keepers to see how far you've come each day, or clip onto any stitch to mark your place. So what do they say? Mushkins. So Elana will probably take these because she's into mushrooms. She has clothing that she can dress full head to toe in mushrooms. So I can see her pinning these onto her clothing or something, or using them in her crochet projects, so she can have them. They're nice big lobster claws on them, like, for size comparison. See? I would love to use them, but I will give them to her. And a hedgehog measuring tape. No knitting bag is complete without a measuring tape. This sweet yarn-loving friend is always there when you need him to tell you it's finally long enough. Oh, he's cute. And a Black Bear collectible tin. Each box so far has come with a tin in it. a large slider tin with our beautiful watercolor mama and baby bear print, approximately 3.75 inches by 2.5 inches, and they slide open. So there, that's a really cute box. Well, that's all I have for you for now. I don't know when my next episode will be. Probably like as soon as we get back, I'll put together a slideshow. I should take some pictures of our travels. I'm slowly getting more and more into taking pictures. Yeah. So probably the end of October will be a vlog of our travels. And then after that, within the next week or two after that, I will catch you up on my projects. And we'll get that test knit started for the cloak. Anyway, until then, happy knitting, happy crocheting, happy beading, embroidering, sewing, jigsaw puzzling, whatever it is that you like to do, go make some joy.